At the end of last year, I travelled to South Africa to see how military veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder were getting on working with orphaned rhinos. I actually sponsored the inaugural Footprints of Hope project organised by the Veterans for Wildlife charity. And so I wanted to see how the 5 veterans fared in their animal-assisted therapy. There were encouraging signs back in December at the Care for Wild HQ on the edge of the Kruger National Park that the course was greatly benefiting the veterans. But would this apparent progress be long-term? Several months on, I decided to catch up once again with the veterans in the UK to see how they were faring back in civilian life.
I think the main thing which has come from the Footprints of Hope is how we've gelled together as a team. Obviously, going out to Africa, doing a lot of work with each other, having to help each other out in physical and mental situations has really helped us out, I think. Yeah, well, like I said, with Pete and Jen, they've sort of motivated me to, just speaking to them, motivated me to go for the Invictus Games, which I'm now doing the training camps for. So I'm on a training camp tomorrow in Swindon. I've got the UK Games in July, and then going forward, I'll have the option to go and do Invictus, which is something I probably would have never have done in the past. Big crowds, a lot of people there cheering you on. It's just something which probably made me feel uncomfortable back in the past. But it's something which I'm really driven to go and do now. I fell in love with Africa when I went there. My fondest memories, I say just putting in the graft. I mean, just watching the likes of Pete carrying logs about, do you know what I mean? And obviously seeing other people do the physical activities, probably things I probably would have not have done in Civvy Street or back home, do you know what I mean? They're like my fondest memories. And having the banter, having the little afternoon therapy sessions, yeah. It's changed me in positive ways. So what I've done is I've passed that little link on, go and apply to my mates. I'd 100% recommend it to any one of my friends.
For me, the long-term benefit would be the network that has come apparent from going out there to South Africa with the Footprints. Having such a close bond with the other veterans, for me, being able to just talk to them and also realise that I'm not alone. I felt very much when first depression hits you and anxiety and everything else that flows into you, you very much feel isolated and feel that no one around you can help, and you sort of, even though you want to speak to people, you don't. But yet speaking to people that have common knowledge of what's going on, I very much feel that for me is a big part of Footprints of Hope. Plus, you know, from looking back at it, the experience of being so close to those orphan rhinos, but as well as, you know, the helicopter coming in when that time, and they had the orphan, we all worked so well as a team, and we were able to put the orphan in the back of the vehicle and ship it off up to the rehabilitation unit. And just being there, I just remember just being led there and just for a second just feeling that edge of calmness. And I felt very much for myself for the first time that I had to be calm, because this poor baby rhino, you know, this poor calf that's just been through so much trauma, is going to wake up not knowing where it is, what's happened. And the first thing it's going to see and realise and smell is me. And I'm thinking to myself, if I'm on edge, it's going to feel that. So I have to be calm.
I do seem more positive, better physically and mentally, and that for being out there and that, which is credit to obviously all the staff and that. And yes, I know it's sort of me as well with taking part in it and fully immersing myself fully into it, which I did because I thought that's the only way I'm going to benefit from it. But yeah, I've had a few people say you do seem a lot calmer, a lot more clearer, and generally more positive. I'd love to go back tomorrow, today, now. I'd love to go back in 5-10 years time to see the rhinos who were there as babies, to see them growing up and that. Obviously, because we got paired with a rhino whilst we were out there, and my one was Arthur and that. So I'd love to see him growing up and that. I'd love to see Ribbon, who obviously got flown in whilst we were there. I'd love to see her all growing up and out on the fells with the bigger rhinos and that. Yeah, I'd love to go back out.
To be honest, it's been better than we ever anticipated. Looking at the guys and their sort of their successes and how they've developed personally and with their struggles, it's been an amazing success. A very difficult project, but I think it came off very well, and I think their sort of development is proof of that. It's obviously something that we care about, their mental health and their sort of mental health and well-being. And it's been great to see that we've been able to do our little part in their journey towards recovery.